This first news story comes to us from Polygon, written by Ollie Welsh. Niantic is giving Monster Hunter the Pokemon Go treatment. Capcom and Niantic have announced a new collaboration, Monster Hunter Now, a real-world hunting action role-playing game for mobile devices which combines an accessible version of classic Monster Hunter gameplay with the augmented reality framework familiar with Niantic's smash hit Pokemon Go. It's due out in September on Android and iOS platforms with a beta test beginning on April 25th, which is tomorrow as of recording. Registration for the beta test is open at the Monster Hunter Now website. Monster Hunter Now players will be able to find monsters and material out in the real world as they walk around with their phones, team up with friends and strangers to hunt those monsters and craft weapons and armor. The notion of majestic monsters roaming around city streets was extremely compelling as a real-world game. Niantic's chief product officer Kiai Kawai said at an online briefing for press, the idea of an augmented reality Monster Hunter game was such a no-brainer that Kawai boasted Capcom accepted Niantic's pitch at their first meeting. The game is being developed at Niantic's Tokyo studio. It will be free to play, supported by in-app purchases. Niantic and Capcom touted what they said was a simplified but authentic version of the Monster Hunter series combat using taps and swipes on the touchscreen. The game will be playable one-handed in portrait mode or in landscape presentation closer to the console and PC Monster Hunter games. The maximum battle time is just 75 seconds to be suitable for outdoor play. Niantic's senior producer Suke Asumi said it was the developer's goal to capture all the fun and challenge in Monster Hunter battles in this short window. The series' distinctive gameplay-altering weapon classes remain, but players should expect to be switching between them more frequently. We hope users will try out all different types of weapons, said Niantic Tokyo's executive director, Tetsuya Nomura. They actually have some screenshots here. It looks pretty much like a Pokemon
Wait,
Go.
what about Tetsuya Nomura?
Tetsuya Nomura is the executive director at Niantic.
Oh, Tetsuo. I thought you said Tetsuya.
No, Tetsuya.
Like, are we getting the Kingdom Hearts crossover?
Kingdom Hearts, Pokemon Go crossover. I'm
stoked for this.
There's a lot more to this article. It just like explains gameplay stuff. But yeah, I wanted to get your thoughts because you are the Monster Hunter guy. Like you've been a huge fan of pretty much all of them, from what I understand. And you love playing a multiplayer. How does this hit you? Being just on your phone.
Yeah, I am all about it. If it's a Monster Hunter that makes me have to go outside and walk and be able to. Now, I'm not capturing the monsters. I'm fighting them, right? I'm slaying them.
You're hunting and fighting them just like you do in Monster Hunter. Yeah.
Well, because there's a side game in the Monster Hunter series where you do kind of catch them and battle them, kind of like a Pokemon. So that's why I'm like, are they going towards that route or are they going towards more traditional route where you hunt them and kill them? So, I'm down either way.
You do get a Palico companion that can tag monsters with paintballs. Players can use a paintball item to tag monsters encountered in the real world to hunt at home alone or with friends. The Palico will tag monsters automatically even if the app is closed to gather hunts for later. So if you have it in your pocket and you're walking around town, it'll tag a bunch of stuff, so when you get home, you can battle all those monsters that were tagged.
Yes.
Without having to, play while you're actually out downtown walking around or whatever.
This is the Pokemon Go follow-up we've all been waiting for. And by we, I mean everybody. Yes, I don't care if you're a Monster Hunter fan or not. You're going to play this game. I need them to support it.
Asked about competitive multiplayer and potential integration with the mainline Monster Hunter games, Niantic said it couldn't comment. So it can. But Kawhi encouraged fans to please stay tuned. Okay, so maybe there's going to be some integration with the main games, maybe some...
Competitive hunting would be a little weird. Normally you're all hunting together as a party.
Right. I guess it would just be like scores based off of like the size of it. Like, is it...
okay.
Because I haven't played a ton of Monster Hunter, but I know like... From what I remember from Monster Hunter World, they were like... It was like random depending like how like the weight of it and length of it and size, right? So like maybe it's almost what it is, like the trophy size. Like, all right, you found a extra large one. Kind of like with Pokemon too. There's like different weights and size Pokemon. Right. So I wonder if it's that kind of thing with the like, okay, it'll be more like a trophy system. Like, like the one you happened to stumble upon was big, It's the same thing with like I don't know. I grew up with deer hunting. Like, oh, you got an 8-point buck, a 10-point buck, that type of thing with these.
Pretty much, you're on track.
You got a dragon with 10 points on his head. I don't know. It looks sick. I'm not gonna lie. And honestly, so whenever my parents come to visit, my mom likes to pull out the Pokemon Go. She plays Pokemon Go, and she especially likes to do it with Shepard, my oldest, because he thinks it's a lot of fun. I kind of fell off of it, so that's why I rarely touch Pokemon Go. But so recently, though, this last month, I've been getting the itch for something like that. Like, I re-downloaded Pokemon Go because I'm like, oh, my mom got it, she's playing it, like I might as well get it too. But with this coming out, I was like, oh, this will definitely scratch the itch, and it's something new. Like, it might be a little more like just refreshing to dive into. So I'm kind of stoked for it. I might even sign up for the beta just for the heck of it. Like, why not?
Oh, I'm way ahead of you.
So
I didn't know it was a thing until just now, and the first thing I did was signed up. Absolutely, awesome. Count me in.
Heck yeah. But yeah, I don't know. It's
it's not coming out for a little while, and
it's not coming out for a little while.
If you want to get familiar,
yeah. On one hand, I'm just to kind of like zoom out a little bit on Monster Hunter specific, but more just like this type of game. It's amazing how many of these types of games have come out and just been flops. Like, they try so hard. I hope this one's different. But like, Harry Potter came out, and that one was kind of Minecraft had one that's similar. That one kind of flopped. Ghostbusters had one. That one kind of flopped.
Pikmin seems to be doing okay.
Pikmin, I think, is doing okay. Wasn't there like a Jurassic Park one or something too?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Like, there's like all these big franchises have tried to make this game.
What's weird is that they're all like, hey, Pokemon is the biggest brand in the world. You know what? If they can do it, we can do it too. Like, that's your, I don't know. That's your metric for judging whether or not you should spend all this money on an app. You think your brand is as highly recognized as Pokemon?
Right. Okay. Yeah. Everyone just assumes it's a golden ticket. Like, oh, yep, we're gonna.
It's like, no, people actually have to like the thing a lot that you're making the product off of.
Exactly. Yeah. If it's like not that well known of a franchise or that beloved of a franchise, like, people aren't going to just flock to it. Like, so it'll be interesting to see the legs it has on it. I think I don't know if those other games were developed by Niantic though, were they? Like, this one is actually developed by Niantic. So
Potter was, I think.
I guess I can look it up. Niantic.
I think Pikmin is.
Okay.
Because they have that relationship with Nintendo already.
Here we go. Niantic has made Pokemon Go. Harry Potter Wizards Unite. Transformers Heavy Metal.
See, you didn't even hear about that one.
Is that also
if it's Niantic, I'm pretty sure it's the same formula.
Oh, it wasn't. It didn't even. It was canceled. It never even saw the light of day.
See?
But yeah, they made not Pokemon, Pikmin Bloom. So that makes sense. So really, like, the only one of theirs that hasn't performed well was the Harry Potter one.
Let's be real, right? These are just reskins.
Oh, wait. Harry Potter shut down. It launched in 2019, and 3 years later, they shut it down. Like, it's done. Dead. That's crazy. Oh, my God.
These are all just reskins of their, what was their original game? It was like Geocache or something like Ingress. Yeah.
Ingress.
It's all just reskins of that game.
It is 100%. I actually remember back in 2013, I'm on their wiki here. I remember downloading Ingress and like messing around with it, but it was such like a new weird thing at the time. And I live in Wisconsin, and there just wasn't a lot going on for it. So I was like, I remember like playing it for like 2 weeks and then just deleting it. And then when Pokemon Go came out, I'm like, oh, this is a lot like this game I played, 4 years ago or whatever.
It's also made by the same people.
Yeah, I never made that connection until like a couple years after Pokemon Go came out. I'm like, oh, wait a second. That's why. It's built on the same infrastructure. But yeah, okay. So I don't know. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see how popular.
Don't worry, I'll keep my eyes peeled on this one. This is finally one that matters.
I mean, we both signed up for the closed beta, so I'm sure you'll hear more about it. We'll be talking about us playing it.
I was gonna say, Garrett, if you're trying to get familiar, you do have a DS, and it does have Monster Hunter on it. I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah, I mean, I also have. I think I have.
Or if you have Rise.
I don't have Rise. I mean, I have Monster Hunter World because I purchased that on PS4. I have Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate. That's the one I have on my 3DS here.
That's the last mainline one, and then the rest of these have been side projects.
Okay, all right. Well,
people are thinking that either late this year or early next year we might get a peek about Monster Hunter 5. Which would be pretty sick.
Game.
Yeah.
Okay.
But 4 is not a bad.
So Monster Hunter, like World and Rise, and so those are all technically spinoffs then?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
They're mixtures of they're different ways to play the game. Like World is more open world based.
Right.
And Prime Monster Hunter is like area. So it would be one biome, but you go to different areas throughout that biome to find different creatures, and they would go back and forth between them. Of course, that was hardware limitations because they couldn't load a whole world. So I would imagine that Monster Hunter 5 is going to have open world too.
More like World kind of.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Interesting.
But I'm just saying it's there if if you're ever curious about how this whole hunting thing works.
Heck yeah. Well, I just noticed the closed beta is limited to 10,000 participants, so hopefully we're not too late since it opens up tomorrow. It might be a little late. Thank you so much for watching that clip from our podcast. Remember, if you want to watch the full episode, link will be in the description below. You can click on that and check it out. We got listener questions. We got more news segments. We got what you playing. We got a lot of fun things. So yeah, more than just the news. There's a lot more to the show that you should go check out. So remember, click that link in the description. Check out that full episode.